Yo. Yo, yo. Check, check. I'm trying to find out if I'm talking like a chipmunk today. Okay, I'm not. So cool, I'm good. Give me a second. I'm gonna send a link to here. Message. We're live. Nope. Whoop. 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 Okay, sorry for being spontaneous today. I was planning to actually do another theme of streaming, but like with my current, with my current schedule, it's kind of hard. I've tried to update some of my software, like vCard, that, and some, operating system libraries. It went not that good, so I wasn't really able to get all the things ready. So today gonna be a little bit, exprompt stream where I'm gonna talk a lot, but then you're gonna see some, elite PvP content. But gonna not really. So, as usual, general information first, then an actual theme of the stream, then some real action gonna happen. First of all, again, some announcements. First of all, I've just got first batch of Hurricane built. Where is those? Where is those? Yo, thanks to Morty. I hope he can announce it personally himself. But that's okay. I'm gonna announce it like I'm gonna take this honor and announce that like we are keep progressing towards hurricanes to go and do some fun fleets to improve our PvP, to check like how people are performing, to have some fun. I hope a lot of fun, etc. etc. And so today, just to promote those, I'm gonna be flying a hurricane to do some PvP roaming. Solo with the filaments probably. Or I'm gonna actually check into. Do we have anyone around? Anyone around? Anyone around? Where is it? Hikatis? No, Hikati is not my type. Faithful Pathfinders are checking drift wormholes. This is far. Ooh. Is it really him? Who knows? Anyways. So, just to make a promotion, I'm gonna be flying a Hurricane today. This is gonna be a solo flight. Mordy was willing to join me, but today is gonna be stuffy speech from me, not that much action, so I didn't want to take a lot of his time, and probably I'm just gonna die on the first filament jump. Like, not probably, I'm gonna die on the first filament jump for sure. I'm gonna try to take someone with me. And I'm gonna talk about solo PP and all that in time, but again, let's get back to some announcements. Hurricanes are up. I'm gonna feed those starting like somewhere at the start of next week, depending on my working schedule and my real life load with this stuff. And then we're gonna go and start doing fun fleets. We're gonna fuck around. I don't know, like we may wanna attack some, I don't know what, again, ESS, Merc Dance, maybe Skyhooks. I mean, to maybe rob them. I don't know. Like, I haven't got into this mechanic yet, but generally gonna be fun, and we're gonna, learn some basics, and I'm gonna learn basics of scene and all that. But yeah, that's plans, short plans. Generally speaking, as we've sold the Neuralink, we have our wallets in pretty good shape. So yeah, so like all those capital plans of of the discounts on buying hulls for most active PvPers and those who are able to reach 1,000 kills under our corp banner. Live from now on. I haven't written it in bulletins. I haven't posted it somewhere in the corp description. I'm gonna do this again next week. Again, this is kind of up on me. So this is gonna be done in time, and we are ready to go. So we're actually gonna start providing you PvP content to be able to get more and more of kills to progress faster over this ladder in core PvP ranks. Hurricanes won't be funded from the core wallets. It's going to be from my personal wallet, but like I'm good with it. Again, I'm sitting on a pile of cash. I have a good number of assets to sell. I've shown more today actually in Dinos about like the stock we have, all the parts ready. I mean, to supply 50 Hurricanes is just a start, and it's gonna, with our current scale, it's gonna be hard to lose even 50 of those fast enough. But like we're gonna see. I'm fabulous at losing stuff, and then burning everything down to the ground. So kind of won't be a challenge. Other than that, I would wanted to cover this new patch that came out. It actually affects some of our activities, like capitals dropped in price, which kind of benefits us with this 50% discount, but that's not the main thing. We expect more often capitals usage. If we're gonna be doing good with PvP, we're gonna be using caps also. There's like a room, there's a space for its usage. But like before we can progress up the scale, we need to check out our foundation, that we are able to follow commands, that we are able to to perform in everything, like everything goes in line, and all those things. I had a talk with Alliance High Strengths recently. Jinx isn't available currently, but others in command are super friendly, super helpful, and they're really listening. I've put a number of points from corp members. The main topic was about the latest Alliance PvP experience, and the reaction was kind of immediate. We gonna have access to C-Team as a corp leadership. There's going to be a public open discussion about like latest mistakes, the general warfare, what's going on. Because right now, even if I'm CEO, I don't know like what's happening in a city, what decisions they are making, why they're making those complaints about making mistakes and getting into fights. It's not about we can't win those. It's more about how we perform those. Like when we are trying to brawl, we are trying to clash when we are definitely an underdog. So other tactics like maybe evading would be better. Evading, not, I don't mean like not getting into a fight, but for example kiting instead of like brawling with enemy fleet, or making some dirty tricks, some dirty moves to to roll over how battles are happening, etc., etc. So like it's gonna be a discussion. I'm not sure when. I'm probably gonna have another conversation with leadership about all this. We were kind of um, well, in a way, noticed our efforts and stuff like this. So the main lines stay the same. Please train to doctrines. Be sure you have ships ready, trained into dreads. I mean, with your alts, like subcap is more important than a capital fleet. I mean, like for PvP, because like yeah, you can drop a dread, but if there's no support and there's no one to protect the dread's just gonna go and die. So it's kind of part of the big equation. So please keep on doing this. And a good part of all this is like we have our corp doctrine, which is Hurricane, aligned towards the Alliance doctrine. So for now, you can use the current Alliance doctrine over Hurricane because we're probably going to be using exactly the same one. But I'm going to check for some corp fleets in the future. We won't be using the same for skirmishes because like we're probably going to be using autocannon ones, not artillery ones. But there's like a lot of topics to talk about this. Probably I'm going to dedicate another stream about this because there are some points to cover. For now, just keep on training into Hurricanes. We already have like I know that we already have an army of Sleipnirs ready. Like most of our guys are able to fly those. If you can't fly Hurricane yet, it's not a huge problem, and you shouldn't be bothered with this because they're like every fleet has other roles to fulfill, you know. So and for what we are planning, we gonna need all those support ships like Logi, like tackle, like heavy tackle, like links, etc., and defenders or defender boats or hunters or your, assassins and all that. So like there's no rush, just keep smoothly progressing towards your plans, and that's gonna be okay. Like no need to, for example, if you're trying to train into ships that are gonna bring you money, they're gonna bring you wealth, you can stick to those for now. Again, we're not in a state of super heavy war. We are not doing 3-4 fleets daily just to protect our space or something. Yeah, there is like some annoying activity from Horde that they are reffing our jump bridges, they're reffing skyhooks, they're trying to drop us. But with our current playstyle and way of life, we are not a great danger because we don't do any heavy mining ops, we don't have heavy raiders. Yeah, and you can see like there is no like heavy raiders lately. I think most of those are mine or my alts. Again, it doesn't really matter. So everything going chill and fine. So just I need to go step by step by step, promoting all this content with the Hurricanes and all that and all that. So like, let's probably start to do this. And the first thing to say, I just wanted to talk is yeah, I'm gonna estimate and pay out later. I won't accept contract right now. So everything should go in order. So my super encouraging speech about PvPing gonna be actually the way of how I look at PvPing and why it's important, etc., etc. Like, and I'm gonna start with the point number one. I don't want to repeat myself. I've talked about this, several times before, but I'm gonna recap shortly. So first of all, PvP is noble activity because that's what this game is based on. So if you want to be, if you want to be a builder, the guy who construct ships and all that, you should praise PvPers because they're killing other PvPers, they're killing ships, and this brings the demand to the game. And when you're building something, you're supplying this demand, and then you have your activity. You have a thing to do in the game, because like if no one hunts, no one dies, then you're logging in. Why to build ships? Because no one buying them, like what for, etc., etc. So especially if you're living in null, PvP is a must. One way or another, you should train it. You should know, like, even if you're not actively practicing, like I don't practicing PvP currently, just because I have a lot of other stuff to do in the game. But like, kind of, this is the very basics of the game. To be ready to engage with other players, to be ready to fight and die or win, like who knows. And unlike most of the other games, like World of Warcraft or Lineage or like Ultima that had reimbursements or drop rates, etc., etc. Eve is very unique because when you die, you're losing everything, and the more expensive your ship, the heavier the loss. So if you're flying some like expensive ship like a carrier or super and you're losing it, you're gonna be upset. Well, probably, I don't know, like maybe you're super resistant to this, but it's kind of obvious. And this fact brings a lot of emotions, a lot of drama to the game. People get upset and you get stressed. Even without a loss, you are very cautious or very disturbed by the fact that you might die. This anxiety keeps building up as your ships getting more expensive and more expensive. And it's not only like if you're a newbie. Like even some famous streamers or famous fleet commanders tell pretty much the same. Like it's always stressful, especially before the actual fight starts. That you are like flying around and you are kind of stressed by the fact. So, for example, you're passing the gates, and on the other side you get a bomb run from bombers, and then all your fleet dies to some silly bomb run, and like it's super embarrassing and it's kind of super stressful. You've lost a lot of money without even a fight. And those who are leading fleets for like some of them are leading fleets for years keep mentioning that. So it's not about like only you getting stressed when you're like undocking your first PvP ship or undocking your Ishtar and seeing a malediction landing something like this. It's kind of common just because the risks are always there. With this fact, like there's like a very famous phrase in the game: "Don't fly things you can't afford to lose." It stays always, actual, and that's why like we are choosing some cheap ships first. Well, not the dirt ship, but kind of we can afford losing those hurricanes, no problem. I don't know, like I've planned for us to be losing 100 hurricanes per month to start with. Then we're gonna see. Maybe it's gonna be faster. Maybe it's gonna be slower. But we're gonna see in time. For now, like the goal is just to be practicing, etc., etc. With the fact that PvP is stressful, there are ways how to manage stress. I honestly don't know. Maybe you are very, very self-confident. Maybe even overconfident, and you don't care about losses, and you're ready to go. Like even in a bar brawls, some people are like, okay, they're trying to protect themselves, they're trying to dodge, blah blah blah, and some are just grabbing a chair and diving into a fight. Who knows? Like, what type of person are you? But stress might reach you out at some points, and so like being able to handle the stress is kind of important. There are different types and different levels of when you really get stressed about this. And I'm talking from my perspective and from my conversations with previous corp members and from previous guys. Some of them like recognize the stress level, some didn't. I didn't recognize stress level at some point, but quality planning, quality management should lower those levels, and you should be getting better over time and with managing it, and that's okay. So I remember with the phrase that I love to repeat all the time. So becoming a PvPer is all about getting used to losses. So it doesn't matter how like how good you're at PvP. And like you may be one of those famous streamers or someone like this, um, but well, it doesn't matter. One day you're gonna lose your ship. We've seen the pythons dead this year. They only got from tournaments. The prices are inadequate. They used to be inadequate. 1 trillion of ISK per hull for Python. Kind of what the is this? And people were okay with flying those. They were jumping in, they were flying around, they were losing them, they were killing others, and there's like always some, those kind of super expensive ships like Tolos or Synodaps. When they were just introduced, a lot of people started to fly them just to try them out. They were losing them, and again, it's kind of part of the process. This kind of more like playing poker or something. Like, it doesn't matter if you have two aces. You may lose to, I don't know, 2 and 5 or something like this. Doesn't really matter. So yeah, try to find out what stops you from joining PvP. And I didn't mean like solo PvP in the world that I'm going to show you later today. It's more about like why are you, for example, not joining alliance leads, or why you are totally not ready to to join maybe some core preparations to defend stuff and stuff. It might be that you don't have enough of time. It might be that you don't have enough of experience. It might be that you just don't know what to do. Even if you're like totally new and you are totally afraid to undock, it's like there are methods of how to improve you, improve your experience during this process. So kind of just the very simple, advice: just fly ships that you can afford to lose. So for example, today I'm going to be flying something like 100 million versus Hurricane, and I didn't give a real about if I'm losing it, and if I'm going to lose a dozen or a couple of dozens, doesn't really matter. It won't hurt my wallet, and this brings very, very minimal stress to me. You can always like make a psychological experiment on you and try to identify this level of ship price that you're ready to lose. So I remember I was starting to fly PvP during the faction warfare, and it was like I've dedicated like half of the bill of money, and my initial ship was used to cost something like 15 mil something. So I said, okay, I'm gonna lose 30. I think they were Algoses. Probably, I can't remember. Yeah, Algoses, overprop Algoses. I was like, okay, I'm ready to do 30 of those, and I'm gonna be okay. And funny thing, after I've lost a couple and I've killed a couple of ships, this initial resistance was breaking through, and yeah, so this might be the case for you. That this tunnel breakdown physical effect that you need to rise voltage for electron to pierce the resistance levels. This kind of comes from electronics and all that. And after you reach this level of kind of potency, you are okay to join. So it's more like the initial friction. So at first you're trying to slide or glide over the surface, and the first effort is the hardest. Then when you get your momentum, when you get your speed, when you get like your stuff, it's super easy to start, to proceed, to keep on going. And this is also kind of psychological effect, like known effect. So I don't know, maybe overcoming your fear. So I like you may be afraid of, geese or something, and then you see them all the time. Like on the other side of the road. But like when you, for example, I don't know. That's a poor example of geese and so. Okay, you're afraid of dogs, and you were beaten once in your childhood, and now you're always afraid. But I don't know, if you gonna meet a very fluffy and puffy, doggo or puppy, maybe your stress gonna be overcame or something. So the best advice is start getting into those fights. Also, do not like PvP is not what you think of it. It's not like when you I don't know like, when I'm looking at all those PvP streams like I'm watching Russian streamers like Ibist or Archont or some others I used to be watching Bjornb and some others. So you see like how you know efficiently they're pressing their buttons when they can go on the very edge and they're like pushing to the limit and then they're pushing even like further beyond the limits, etc., etc., and you're like amazed of how this is like I won't be able to do this. Well, you're gonna be able to do this in time, just because it's gonna you should rise your complexity step by step. It's not like you don't go I don't know uh, to gym and then immediately so you come there and you see an athlete that is able to push 200 kilos from his chest. It's gonna like and I'm unable to press I don't know 50 kilos. Like I'm unable to do this. No, you're gonna be able to in time. And PvP is more about kind of it's about getting into fights and getting better over time. Sometimes you're gonna perform worse. Sometimes you're gonna perform better. But you're gonna improve the thing over time, and with the number of fights you ran, you're gonna improve, and you're gonna reach some decent level for sure. And I mean, it's not like we're expecting everyone to be perfect PvPers. Like it's not a Mortal Kombat where everyone is like the finest fighter of a playstyle or something. It's more about getting fun. It's consider this to be playing basketball in your backyard with neighbors or something like this. It's kind of this thing. But with such approach, you can improve, and then you can start building your your team spirit, and generally engage into more aggressive and more important and more fun and more interesting fights, and then achieve some results. I don't know, like whether it's gonna be we're gonna be fighting for a moon, or we're gonna be just blasting enemies, or we're just gonna be I don't know trying to perform some super fancy, fleeting interesting doctrine. Uh, Regardless, it's gonna be better if you're trained. It's gonna be better if you have experience built and all that. I forgot what was the plan, but I like started my mind flow. It's kind of it's kind of never stops. So yeah, what was this film with Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt? Uh, the Edge of Future, something like this, where they were, fighting those aliens who had a control over time. But I still remember, the phrase of the film, "Live, die, repeat." So that's pretty much how you gonna get better in PvP. So oh yeah, I haven't finished up my thought with an experiment. Try to measure your level of loss that you can easily accept without any without any bother. It doesn't matter if you're gonna make a mistake in here, because you can always adjust. Like just don't start that you're okay to lose all of your wealth in one fight. That's definitely a mistake. But generally, you can do other tricks. So, for example, you can put I don't know just out of my head right now, like you can start saving 10% of your general income somewhere in your stash and call it like a PvP stash, and maybe make a wallet or make a character that's gonna store your PvP money. And while you're doing your general operations, you're gonna be saving those 10% to this tune, and then you may wanna once in a while, like once per week, once per 2 weeks, maybe once per month, just buy a ship from those savings and go and try to kill someone somewhere in the wild. Go to the wilderness and try to to hunt do some manhunt. Or you can go another way. You can just like cut assume out of your wallet. Actually, that's my practice. So like so I'm doing my regular stuff, doing, and at some moment I think, okay, like how many free funds do I have? Okay, right now I have, I don't know, like 20 bill. I'm gonna leave 15 for better times, but 5 I'm ready to, to dump. How I'm gonna be spending this amount of money? Well, I don't know. Like I'm probably gonna buy one expensive ship, which is gonna cost 1/3. Then maybe a couple of moderate ships, and then everything else just goes to hurricanes. So that's the plan for now, pretty much. But I'm not sure about like funds. I haven't really checked, but like I'm always recently I'm always okay to lose 5 billion to some reckless silly fight or something. Uh, Face off with him. Oh yeah, yeah. I saw him. He was in K70 or something, like somewhere in here. Where? Zara, no. But doesn't him really? It doesn't matter. Like I saw him in it. Like I was wondering if it's really him. I'm not sure. Uh, so that's the plan. Also, like I should probably have started with that. Corporation is more than happy to start, SRPing your even solo shengas or solo fights, whatever. Um, I don't know, like we're gonna talk with Daya, but generally, I don't know, if you're gonna lose 300 mil worth of PP ships doing solo PP, like, guys, I'm like ready to pay this. This is gonna maybe gonna be a one-time offer, but I'm gonna write about this again. We have fucking 50 billion in our wallets. We have 15 active players right now. If all of them gonna lose 300, there's gonna be the same 5 billion, 5 billion risk, and we have what? How much do we have? 54. Yeah, we can drop down to 50, and still it's gonna be fun. Um, this doesn't go with my current Hurricane plan. Uh, Kinda to summarize, yeah, I should sum up. Please join PvP, train your skills, do not be afraid to lose your shit. Just make an adequate plan. The financial planning is crucial. I think Morty knows better than me about all this because like I'm more like, wow, like how many money I have, how much money do I have? Okay, this seems okay. Sure. I'm gonna go and lose some, or okay, this is not okay. I'm gonna go and get some in return, stuff like this. Um, Practice. If you're, it's not. Yeah, I need to clarify this, and this is gonna be a good intro to my solo PvP and stuff. We don't expect you to go and do solo PvP just because it's insanely harder than any other type of PvP. Just because everything is on you, and I'm gonna talk about this a little bit later, and I'm gonna show you how to progress over this. But you can join those alliance fights. Poet did gorgeous recently. He joined in a Jackdaw, and Jackdaw is a total legit ship. It aids, again, like I've talked about this before. You can hunt down the enemy E-War, you can hunt down the enemy tackle, you can create additional stress on, for example, Logi for them to start, panicking, or you can, like, even imagine this, you can be kind of hoarding on enemy kills, splitting up your missile launchers and shooting missile by missile on enemies. And it's like even if you're doing the cell, it still brings worth to the general battlefield, like for your general fleet experience. Why? Because first of all, you are lowering tank of enemy fleet. You're bringing a lot of disorder to Logi, and like the more complex fight is for enemy members, the better. Just because then they like not all of like you should always keep this in mind. Not all of the people doing PP are elite and experienced. Not all of them know what they're doing, what's happening. There's gonna be a lot of panic, especially if people are not experienced enough. So you see, oh, I'm being red boxed. I start losing to lose my shield. So I'm gonna spam this like need revs, need shields, need armor. This is gonna bring additional disorder to enemy lines, and this brings worse. Uh, don't get me wrong, you shouldn't do this on a regular basis. But if you're like don't have a good target, for example, right now, or you're fighting in a asymmetric fleets, for example, your fleet is may only shoot on I don't know 70 kilometers, and you're a jackdaw and you can shoot at 130 kilometers. You know, start to tickle enemies. Start to tickle. Find I don't know like find a malediction, shoot it, make it panic, make it think what should I do next. He's gonna be thinking how to dodge your incoming damage, not how to tackle your FC. Something like this. Just gonna and you're gonna start feeling the thrill, you know, what's going on the battlefield, and why those small ships are that efficient. Because during most of the engagements, people don't really track FCs, do not really track, you know, those crucifiers and jackdaws. They generally usually the last one to hit. You're gonna learn the basics of how to survive. Um, because you're not that the thing you probably won't be flying on anchor. You're solo wolves, you are stepping wolves, you're just gonna, you know, slingers flying around and trying to survive. And you're gonna learn those basics. You're gonna learn how to be a cockroach on the battlefield. I'm probably gonna have a conversation soon about E-War with Archangel and with SC team, just because current performance kind of seems awkward to me. Feats are super awkward. Our latest E-War wing performance kind of makes me, you know, think something went really wrong. Well, not part of this discussion, but yeah, the thing. If you're afraid to lose a, you know, you know, what DPS ship or expensive DPS ship, just get into Crucifier that costs, I don't know, like 10 mil, or the Jackdaw that costs 100 mil, depending on your budgets. All those are being covered by SRP, by Alliance. All those are legit to join. So just fly around, you know, feel the thrill of a fight and all that. You're gonna get better. Now to solo PvP. And as I said before, solo PvP is, you know, is the hardest type of PvP from my perspective. Even harder than, I don't know, like people think that capital warfare is kind of complex or something. Not really. It only takes skills to train, but then if you're in a dread, you know, and kind of FC commands siege green, and you go siege up, there's not that many things you can really do from start from that point. And the best part, there's not that many things that you can do wrong during this process. So you're just a huge potato. If you've been primaried, you're dead. If you're not being primaried, you can shoot what you were broadcasted. You're spooling your cap to jump out at some point if you're being primaried and your siege cycle getting over. And I don't know, the sign, the evac sign is lit. You can try to work like jump out if you're like really, you know, if your tank is leaking and you're about to die. Usually capital fights involve a lot of tie-dye, which means like you're pressing, you know, a fire and then you're waiting for 2 minutes for something else to happen. Boosters are taken, and as if it's a tie-dye and you forgot to take your boosters, you may remember about this like in 5 minutes, and then you can take your boosters. Like such things, it's get much simpler. If you're doing solo PvP, so theme number one, everything is up on ya. If you're gonna be if you're gonna fuck up, it's gonna be your fault. Of course, there are like, you know, there are variables. Maybe you just had a bad luck. Maybe you acted not that good, but it's okay. You don't have all the information. So, for example, you decide to, you know, jump the gate, and on the other side, there's like not a single Vedmak trying to tackle you, but like the whole fleet of I don't know, like of Ferex navies, and you're in a Stratus, and you're like trying to burn out, and then like they're just, you know, ripping you off. My personal experience from previous fleet. Well, I wasn't a Stratus, but like Press F was brave Stratus pilot. Brave, not Alliance, but just really brave, who who tried to jump the gate. And this brings a lot of, stress, not in terms of, psychological stress. Well, psychological is also included, but more mental stress, because there's like a lot of things to keep in mind. There's like a lot of variables to keep in mind. You should be aligning. You should know what fights you're trying to take your building your routes. You should have your evac routes. You should have your intel in mind, or know the map, or know how to, how to do stuff. I to be honest, for example, I can't really remember how to activate ESS. we're gonna find out together shortly. But kind of touch things, and that's okay. I mean, in there like more, more kind of cores of complexity to keep in mind. For example, are you passive or active fit? Are you a kite to brawl? What actually type of active fit do you have? Are you using double reps, for example, or shield rep or armor rep? Are you using, like, how cap stable are you? Uh, how cap stable? So, for example, if you're using reactive reactive membrane, reactive armor hardener. So do you have enough capacitor to have it always running? If the enemy switched a damage type, do you kind of drop it off and then put it back? Like, do you reset it? Or for example, if the like another group of enemies showing up, do you reset it? Should you reset it? Where are your drones? Do you have reserve drones? And do you have advantage in speed? What's your transversal? What's your angular velocity? Blah 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 blah. Like, there are like maybe sometimes hundreds of params to keep in mind. Sounds really ugly and super complex and super stressful. Like, who the fuck would like to join it? Such kind of warfare. But again, as I've told before, you can build your skills, build your experience progressively. And there are kind of steps, levels of masteries, levels of progression, how you're gonna progress, or how you can progress to make this process smooth and easy. And kind of you're gonna be better in time, just better. I have a good example to have. So it's not very new, but there used to be tournaments, mostly solo tournaments in Abyss. There used to be events when you were going deep into Abyss. They were totally awful. Like, literally, they were super awful. Why? Because the only like that, like, those who won those tournaments, I doubt they were best PvPers. It's just they had more wins, and I don't know, like, if they were sharing accounts. But I remember the event in Destroyers, Tech 1 Destroyers, if I remember correct. And it was super awful just because people were fighting for more than 24 hours. I'm not sure if they were sharing accounts or something, but it might be they were doing this. Just because I remember the event started, I had something like several wins, several losses, several ties. And then I went to bed, and I woke up, and I was like fighting for 8 hours or something like this. I woke up, get back to the computer, and I was like, I think 30 or 40 wins behind the first ranks. And the funny thing that during this tournament, I've killed from those top three. I killed two of those, and I had a tie with one of the top three ranked. So it's not about like how you used to be performing. And why I'm talking about this, because I've got better when the fight just started. I've lost maybe 2 or 3 fights, and then but I was like making my recognizing my mistakes, making some adjustments, and then that's actually when I quit this tournament. When on the very peak of the tournament, I was able to to win 2 those who were in top ranks, and then getting a tie from the last one. And I've decided, like, what's the point? to fight for bounties. Bounties were kind of meh. So kind of what's the point? It's not about like how good you are performing. It's just like how about you are, you know, um, how much time you can dedicate to this. And like we have real lives. We have girlfriends, children, puppets, like like jobs and all that stuff. So like you just can't sit 24 hours fighting some spaceships just for nothing. But general, that's a good progression. Like I've learned my mistakes, I've improved my fits, I've learned how should I how should I act versus some specific types of enemies, and like kind of I was well adequately fighting. Let's go. It's not that I was good about it, just like I was adequately fighting those fights. Then a good example is another event that used to be before called Shipcaster event. If you know that, like there are kind of portals that lead from Empire space straight to faction warfare zones. It used to be a super long event. It was super gorgeous. It was rewarding in terms of rewards, especially if you're running elite sites somewhere in the low six, or were they on the elite sites? I can't remember, probably. And it was a perfect place to do PvP, just because you were entering the site, and then there like it was plenty of rats, and it was kind of ridiculous to form a fleet to control the area, but it was cool if you were fighting in solo fights or double fights. And again, I think I've lost more than I won during those, but it was a super good experience, and I had a kind of good number of good wins. So I've killed in a prophecy. I've killed in a Ketursa that was worth 1+ bill. In a prophecy was only like 80 or 90 mil only. And then I had a good experience. I was able to bush off curses. I killed some Deimoses. I killed some Gnosises. I've lost to a Gnosis. I was able to kill Brotix. So like, and you really start to feel the thrill. You really start to feel what's going on the battlefield. And this kind of was a super exciting time, because like I remember I was waking up and I was like, okay, today after my work I'm gonna go and do this stuff once again. And then like I was working, and during the work I was thinking about this sometimes, and the evening was a kind of time of of glory, because you were jumping into this prophecy that looked awkward. The feat was super awkward, and then you went and then you fight, or you won or you lose, and the income from event was able to cover all the losses, and the income from event actually gave good profits. And it's kind of like I'm missing kind of such type of events, just because they really give this risk reward ratio balance that pushes people to really go and run those events. And this, like, again, this was one of the best PvP experience in this game. Uh, so, uh, how to start? So, again, like probably you can pick up some kind of like a ship to attack. The simple stabber is okay to kill Ishtars, for example. You can go and do this, but again, as we don't expect you to do this, I'm just gonna show you a complexity progression that I always keep in mind. So like, as I'm not totally new to solo PvP, but I don't really hunt. I don't really do filamenting. I don't really chase any Ishtars, something. Um, so I'm gonna be like restarting all this stuff all over again, and I'm gonna show how I'm gonna try to build my progression ladder. So first of all, I'm gonna and so generally in those solo PvP, that's the thing I'm missing. And like any type of PvP, regardless solo or FC or group or whatever, you should always have a plan. This comes from chess, maybe from a chess experience, but like there's like a very well-known phrase: bad plan is better than no plan. So I'm gonna plan my fights the same way I did with the prophecies that actually gave me a number of victories, number of good fights. And I'm gonna stick to this plan. I'm gonna be using an um, environmental options to boost my experience, and like we're gonna see how it goes. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna fail my several first runs, and that's okay. That's not a bug, that's a feature. Yeah, how we say in programming and all that. But I hope it's gonna be fun, and I hope you're gonna get some. You're gonna get some joy from watching me suffering during this long and painful journey. So first, let's start. I'm gonna be picking up my ship. So no, it would be nightmare. Not be. Okay, so from my perspective, the very best ship to ship type to do solo PvP is a battle cruiser, because they are relatively. So what is the difference? Like, it's hard to, you know, to fight a good fight. For example, in tactical destroyers, well, maybe in Hikaris, they all have their limits, especially if you're solo. So they all have set of problems, and they require a lot of buttons to be pressed. So they are relatively complex in management. Just because you're gonna have to switch between those types, you can't go into ESS. Partly you can't get safe spot in there. Well, you can. You're gonna be warping at zero, then you're gonna be burning out, and no one gonna be able to land on you if you're burning from the from the ESS, etc. But kind of still not my type. Yeah, you can get a good DPS numbers, but I prefer different type of warfare, and they relatively expensive. So still like your standard, your standard Hikari feed gonna be something around 80 mil or maybe 100 mil, something like this. Then you can go to to a cruiser level. Cruisers are okayish. There are a number of good ships like Executor's navies, Vexor navies, or even like Thoraxes. I think they can hunt down and kill Ishtars. But that's kind of limited type of PvP. So there are restrictions. Mostly you have not that good presentation of power grid, you don't have a good number of slots. Your standard build's gonna be, oh, we have fighting going. Well, kinda, sorry guys, today it's my time. Today I'm doing a stream. And you have a number of restrictions. Yeah, things like ships like Vexors, for example, can be built up differently. There are like other types of ships that could be built differently, but they are very limited to to their natural number of slots restrictions, for example, or general fitting restrictions. And battle cruisers are very cool platforms. First of all, they are, and yeah, usually those cruisers are thin, and the fights might be super short for you. Like you may be losing a lot of ships without getting the real thrill. On the other hand, battleships are too large, they're too expensive, they're too slow. It's kind of easy to catch it. Like a Hyperion, for example, which is a perfect solo ship. Well, of course, it's gonna be questionable who caught whom. Hyperion caught the cheaters, or cheaters got Hyperion, just because of the nature of Hyperion. I do love battle cruisers, again, because they are relatively cheap, they're easy to produce, relatively agile and fast, and could be built with not insane but good number of variations. Well, kind of some of them are limited to the damage type they are limited to type of tank they're using, etc. So that's why I'm picking the Hurricane as my main platform, just because it's super agile, versatile. You can build it like in, I don't know, literally hundred of different types. I also adore prophecies, but prophecy again a little bit tricky because it's like kind of bounded to drone damage. It's kind of bounded to the fact that drones might be killed, might be shut off, might have problems. And Hurricane's kind of straight as rail. You just get it, you fit it with the guns, and then you bring vengeance on the battlefield. Let's bring some havoc. What else? So I have fit. Well, let me build the fit from the very scratch. I have it pre-saved, but like let's try to play with the fittings. Let's simulate. So I need some sort of a plan. What I'm going to be doing. Why it's being set like this? Well, you already know, like by this name, you should know what type of action I'm planning. So first of all, where I'm planning to approve, like what's my plan? First of all, I'm planning to start from ESS robberies and be efficient in ESS. So there are like two types of actual behavior. Well, there may be others, but like there's first I should pick the weapon types. It's always the weapon types. So it's going to be whether artillery or autocannons. Let's take a look at. There's a very good fitting in community fittings, and as you see, it's kind of, well, it's not for ESS because it uses micro hard drive, but it's very strong fit because it utilizes like a number of benefits, and even drones are very intelligently picked. Yeah, you kind of losing some of the total DPS, but they're still gorgeous. So first of all, you're using autocannons. You're using Tech 2 autocannons. You probably, with the scram, you're going to be fighting at 0. Well, going to be brawling. You have a good buffer, because you're a battle cruiser. That's the thing. Cruisers usually don't have a buffer, a huge buffer. So, for example, Vexers are using usually the rep, the active tank and stuff like this. So this brings a problem for them. They're thin, and they can be easily alphaed, and some enemy ships can easily kill them. This is ship for mostly to fucking around gates or catching Ishtars and shooting them, maybe provoking others, and this type can go to ESS and then burn out of ESS, making it like defensive point, and then like trying to run, making a lines, etc. etc. It has a good number of cap boosters. That's a good number. It has active rep, and active rep is very impressive. It has a additional booster that's gonna improve, the rep even more. So 30% is gorgeous. So if you, you won't be using it like this, but let's imagine 177 per 30%, that's around 1/3. So it's gonna, not 60, let's say it's 55, 53, let's say it up. So it's 230, rep, plus you're gonna get additional resistances from this. So your tank is kinda gorgeous. You may be, you probably won't be overheating, so you relatively stable with this. If you're running, you can overheat this, and you're gonna be still quite operational. So that's a good part. Also, if you're trying to choke someone, or you're being attacked by the something like light tackle or something, you have defensive options. You have the scram, you have a web, you have a neutralizer. Small neutralizer works well versus small is trying to tackle you. And autocannons has a pretty impressive turret tracking, 31. And if you're gonna load, for example, depleted uranium, you're gonna have the whole 50, which is more than enough to kill any scrammed and web target. I mean, even a fast tackle. So you're doing pretty good. So you're tanking a lot. You are very agile and fast. Your damage is like outstanding. If you're gonna put your enemies, put hail in here. So with the pyro level 2, you're gonna have all, well, 850 DPS. So this kind of very impressive, very good. What I don't like about this, it's been predictable. Most of the hurricanes look like this or alike, so people gonna know how to react. Yeah, and kind of that's in a way a problem. You won't be doing that good with some heavy neutralizers or something, because like you're gonna have definitely gonna have problems with the capacitor. Even if you're not taking any capacitor to shoot, still this might be a problem. Also, if you're gonna go below the capacitor, this thing gonna go off, and you're gonna lose a lot of pre-saved resistances. And what I do not like about this fit the most is the complexity of execution. This definitely requires at least well, not basic, I would call advanced skills of management, because managing double rep is complex, armor rep is double complex, auxiliary is triple complex. Managing your small neutralizer, managing active cap batteries, web, scram, and this trick with the turning off your MVD, for example, like totally like putting it offline to save capacity. Like you see how many actions you can perform, like a lot of actions, and the fact how you are executing those actions affects your general efficiency on the battlefield. Yeah, most of your fight is going to be relatively easy if you're going to be able to ram jam into something like Ishtar. It's going to be dead in seconds. Still, like landing and trying to catch it might have some problems if this Ishtar is taking like the long orbit or something. I'm not sure. Well, you're gonna be provoking like elite PvPers know how to trigger the enemies to form and to attack them. Um, there's like a lot of other ships who can choke you, who can struggle you, who can kill you. Even some maybe hull tank Brutexes with overheat, and the neutralizer can bring problems just because they're gonna have much better DPS. And passive tanks, so they're simpler to execute like this. So my general point, this fitting definitely require skills. Not, I mean, not the hard skills that you're getting, like that you're obtaining through the trainings of this, from these skills, but definitely knowing how to press buttons. It's not bad. It's like gorgeous, because if you have those masteries of pressing those buttons, you're gonna be a really dangerous foe on the battlefield. And personally, wouldn't like to fuck around with such a dude who knows who's doing this. I'm pretty sure it's like one of the streamers fits. I think it's like maybe iBeast. I'm not sure. He wrote he sent some fits to the speed to introduce as a community fits. Um, that's for sure very solid, very impressive fitting. It matches most of the, and it has like a good, you know, a good buffer in, for example, CPU, good buffer or power grid. It can be enhanced. It could be progressed, so you can at any point you can, for example, add, I don't know, substitute this with a faction, faction, or maybe dead space rep of chip type, of course, and if you want to. But generally, as Hull's chip, you're just gonna use it as is. So very impressive. Still, I'm gonna use another one. This was a good intro. And I'm gonna be using my own one, which is called Stroll. And my usage gonna be a lot different from the one that I've shown. So first of all, it's gonna be artillery fit. It's like pretty much the same price, but the usage is gonna be totally different, and the drawback is gonna be different, and the weaknesses, like, to be honest, this fit had much more, weaknesses. It's almost, it's almost defensive versus tackle, because you don't have, like, I'm probably I'm gonna rebuild it from the scratch just for you to understand how I think when I'm designing such trees. Yeah, they're ugly. It's a fucking abomination of any common sense, but like I'm gonna explain it later. So first, I'm gonna be doing ESS stuff, and I wanna do a kite. It won't be a brawl like I've shown before, so it's gonna be a kite one. Kiting means range, and I'm going to be using scout artilleries just because they are much more graceful in terms of power grid and speed usage, so they're easy to fit, and that's going to be my base. I'm going to add some some basic ammo, EMP. And yeah, like as I'm planning to fight in ESS, I'm gonna calculate my optimal distance. I think it's gonna be somewhere around the optimal range of those. 46, 19, 19 is okay-ish, but kinda I want to improve that. So I'm gonna add tracking computer. Also, as I'm gonna be kiting, I'm gonna do this dirty trick that's gonna surprise my enemy. Well, I hope so. So I'm gonna be using overprop. It's gonna allow me to position easier. I'm gonna have to add those things. So, and what's my plan? I'm gonna be tanking with range. So I'm gonna be staying at range and applying my DPS efficiently, while enemy won't be able to do so. I'm gonna add. What am I gonna add? I'm gonna add some damage control. I don't have power grid to fit any active rep plus batteries, for example, so not my case. I don't want to control the capacitor. If I'm going to be out of range, I won't be using the the neutralizer. It might be good to fight versus tackle, but that's not my plan. If I'm going to be tackled, I'm going to be pretty much dead. So kind of that's part of the equation. Then I'm going to add some bulkheads just to have some buffer tank. Then I'm gonna add, it's artillery. We need DPS. We're a perfect DPS ship, so I'm gonna add some gear stabilizers. My DPS became quite impressive, but not yet. Then I'm gonna use a slightly different pattern than the previous hurricane. I'm gonna need 2 of those. I'm gonna add some additional warriors. So that's gonna be probably my setup. 600 DPS. Kinda okay-ish. What else? I'm gonna need some optimum range script probably to shoot 22. A little bit meh, but okay. Then what do you need? I'm gonna use warp disruptor. This is gonna make sense a little bit later. Fin scoop. Okay, this goes. And now the dirty trick. As you all know, I'm a great fan of E-War, so I'm gonna be using this combat tracking disruptor. Doesn't really matter what type. And this is going to be optimal range disruption. Now I have some free CPU and power grid. I may want to add, for example, skirmish burst, just to be able to burn faster out of the bubble if needed. But it's hard to fit. Also CPU. This will affect to losing some of this DPS or some ranges, etc., etc. So I prefer to just use rapid light missile launcher. I can use it too. Do you want to? Probably not. I'm gonna need some range. Light missile, okay, light missile. Where's Caldari Navy? Get some Mjolnir. This looks better. That's like probably my one and only weapon versus tackle. Also some warriors. They won't be as efficient, but they're gonna be able to at least push off some, some noisy tacklers is they're going to be able to catch me, like when I'm moving through the gates or something. But again, that's not part of the plan. What this thing is capable of, like what's its design. First of all, main usage is of course ESS. So I'm going to burn in. I'm going to try to hack. If I'm going to see an enemy approaching through the D-scan. Of course, there are going to be recon strips. I know that. I don't want to be able to see it. It's kind of part of the deal. Then I'm going to try to burn out of the bubble. I mean, so what's the great plan? First of all, who are my rivals? Who I'm going to be taking fights versus? Some solo fighting ships, like the same maybe, I don't know, faction cruisers, like ENIs, like Stabbers, Stabber fleet issues, other battle cruisers, like for example the Brutexes, like for example, I don't know, who else can, like maybe other Hurricanes and stuff. The great plan is to initiate the robbing. Then when I'm going to see someone on a D-scan, I'm going to try to burn out. When he's going to enter the ESS, I'm going to be shooting him with artillery, which has a better range than most of the close combat things. And I'm going to be suppressing him with compact tracking disruptor. Missiles also possible my rival, just because I'm moving fast. And as I'm moving fast, I'm going to be able to dodge most of the DPS, even without this thing. I'm going to be moving fast, and I'm going to be shooting. I'm using an alpha. I'm relying highly on my alpha, so I'm going to be trying to pierce through the active tank defenses. If I'm going to see anything like super dangerous, maybe I'm going to try to fuck around with double enemies, so I can try to pierce through one of them. Going to be trying to burn range while they're going to be taking damage, and if I'm lucky enough, I'm going to be able to kill one. Another option is to go and hunt an Ishtar, just to find a random Ishtar, and again, it's kind of beneficial. He won't be able to run from me, because even if he's using an overprop, I'm moving pretty fast with overprop. The huge drawback is align time, so if it is an overprop, he won't be able to warp out fast. I have an artillery, so I'm going to be able to land pretty heavy volleys on him. And as they're all active tank, they don't have a buffer, so an Ishtar may go poof, just like kind of on a second volley. If I'm going to see anything like really threatening, like Marauders and stuff, I'm going to overheat my prop. I'm going to burn out of ESS. When the Marauder is going to land, I'm going to apply again this tracking disruptor. If it's kind of Golem, again, I have a super fast speed. Even if he double paints me, I hope that I'm going to have enough of tank to handle a couple of volleys. I don't know what's going to be, probably with torpedoes or even with cruise missiles. I should be okay to align and warp out, but we're gonna see. What's going on in there? Fight still ongoing, folks. I mean, blah blah blah. It was 20 minutes ago. Yeah, I'm talking super slow. So give me a second, I'm gonna add some ammo in here. Yeah, as those are Tech 1, well actually not Tech 1, kind of meta models. I won't be able to use a lot of stuff, but I'm gonna add some ammo in here. So we need to deploy uranium, we need that. EMP, we need that. Fusion, we need that. Phase plasma, we need that. Titanium sabot, maybe. I doubt I'm gonna be shooting that far. So proton and nuclear are kinda not my type. Carbonized lead, also probably no. Not sure. I really not sure. Whom could I shoot with a kinetic at like super extended ranges? I don't know. Like my limit is 75 kilometers, so like in this already shoots pretty efficiently. Also, I won't need a lot of ammo because kinda it's an artillery. One load takes those 6 multiplied on 20 charges. 120, 600 should be enough, I think. I doubt I'm gonna be able to use more than that. 600, 600, 600. 22 kilos, this range, 22 kilos. Perfectly matches. I don't really need any kind of additional booster for range bonus, maybe only if I'm gonna be running away, but I'm probably gonna try to use what Thus. There's this one. Fall off, I'm not sure. What should I take? Frantics, maybe Frantics. Let it be just drop. I doubt it's gonna give me a lot of benefit with tracking, but it's artillery. It's tracking sucks, so kind of buy myself one. Actually, we won't do it like this. We're gonna do it like this. Then the pyro. I wanna hit hard. Pyro. Ooh, they became expensive. What the fuck? Why are they so expensive? Ah. Pyro. Ah. Pyro. I have some supply. But it's kind of low. Wait, it's low. Pyro. What the fuck I have it here? Why don't I have boosters here? Where are my boosters? Pyro. Let's see. Find me. They probably still in K7D. No. Okay, I'm missing some boosters, but that's okay. I have 100, so it should be enough. What else? Paste. We need a paste for sure. Paste. I doubt I'm gonna live long enough to use a lot of it, but 100 seems to be okay. I'm definitely missing something. Pyro is there, Sensor Booster is there. I'll give me a second. I'm gonna refresh my coffee. Let's roll charges from those. 1 and 1. 1 and 1. Just to clarify, as I don't have any web, if anyone gets close to me, I'm pretty much dead. Just because they're gonna orbit me, I won't be able to hit good enough. So I'm definitely a dead man. So we shouldn't allow them to do so. So keep it at range. So kiting is is my thriving strategy. Just to clarify, I'm not expecting to be efficient. It's not about like getting money. It's not about, you know, it's not about any kind of economical efficiency. It's more about getting experience and really killing someone. I would really want to kill someone. In here we don't need all of this. How many charges go in here? 19. So I can take 100 of each. Yeah. Do-do, 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 do-do. Looks good. Now filaments. I need some filaments. Do I have any filaments? Filament. Let's filament. Just I'm not sure what really have. Noise 5. Signal 5. What do you need noise? Okay, who can explain me? Noise, probably signal. Higher levels of activity, that's exactly what I need. So it's gonna be signal. How many do I need? Okay, you go enough. How many do I really need? Oh, 5. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to outlive. Let's check. Have optimal range, tracking speed. I have prop model. I have all the drugs. Seems legit. Seems okay. Range is okay-ish. TPS is okay-ish. Let's try to buy one. I hope like everything is on market in here. I probably won't buy this. Hurry up. Let's hit one. And let's... I probably should save this. Just because I don't really usually... ESS, wow. ESS, troll start. Okay, save. My small, my small set of ships in here. Okay, let's see. Seems okay. Now I just need to set up some. Nah, okay. They're gonna be overheating all at once. Yeah, usually you want to split those, just because of the effect of overheating, but I doubt I'm gonna be able to burn my guns, What am I missing? First, make it all together. EMP gonna be the main one. No, EMP is the main one. I have plenty of stuff. I'm gonna be doing optimal range. It's also gonna be optimal range. Missiles. Okay, those are EMP. Let's follow the pattern and also use an EMP. The most important part, we need to go with style. What do I have? I'm flying too many of Auroral Universals lately. This has fancy pattern. Yeah, I love it. Death glow, meh. Then is meh. Oh, this looks cool. I have a Sleipnir colored like this. Yeah, let's go with this. I do love it. Okay, now probably need to form a fleet. Where's my fleet? To use filament. I think I'm ready to go. But do I have those? I'm not sure. Emblems. Not purchased. Such a disgrace. Morty, you're right. I need some emblems. Yeah, they would be glowing super awesome. What what's the other skins? I remember I saw some things here. Yeah, meh. Bloody hands. Bloody hands actually kinda cool. That's okay. Scourged blossom. I don't know. Death glow hunters. I don't like it. Firewall breach. Freedom revolution. Ooh, this one looks cool. How much does it cost? Do we have one? Elite. Oh yeah. I need to look in here. Bum ba bum ba bum. This is cool. Blaze Squadron. Yeah, I remember with the face, Beast of the Firestorm. Ooh. My second candidate, maybe. It's gonna. Fleet. Ordnance. Hazard control. Ooh. I have this one on my Nix, I think. Trust. AGC, Sylvester. Next time I'm gonna think and buy myself maybe a new skin. Right now I'm gonna go with this. Emblem C, I'm gonna go. Where's the nearest Paragon? Paragon, maybe Naridia, I don't know. Let's try to go and kill someone. Or rob someone, who cares? Do I have a spot in here? Need to persuade. Okay, what we're gonna do? We need this, and this. This goes here. It's gonna be secondary. Drugs. Drugs are in place. To be honest, I'm a little bit disturbed with this alliance activities. Maybe I need to pick another time for streaming, just because why the fuck we have a fight when I started to stream? Actually, sorry, spot. I'm gonna get back to you in 5 minutes. I'm gonna go check something meanwhile, and gonna refresh my coffee because coffee is running out. Coffee is the fuel. Coffee is life. Okay, let's go. Nikami, thank you for the sign spot. Yeah, I definitely need a pause screen for streams. But why haven't? Oh yeah, because my OBS is crashing when I'm trying to add anything to the screens. OBS is crashing and like I'm unable to proceed. You're gonna see me for like 5 minutes sitting on the top of the keep, and then I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna mute myself for a short period of time. Please stay tuned. CEO disgrace is coming. I'm gonna try to at least shoot someone before I'm gonna get blapped. Okay, gonna be back in 5. Guys, stay tuned. My bad, I forgot to put my mic on. What was just happening, I was checking the D-scan, so you see I have a very short angle. If I'm going to be hunting Ishtars, I'm going to be checking from this. When you press V and then targeting the side, it's going to turns your, D-scan to a specific angle. You can use even this one. It's like very, very sharpened. The problem right now, it's like it's not working. Yeah, I have the problem with V and press, then it's not exactly that good. Anyways, I think I'm ready to go and do some action. Let's see, another message now about what's going on. EDM, vector Tragors. No, I'm not going EDM. Let's go. Okay, let the carnage begin. What the oh, this is a new theme that they've introduced. Interesting. Okay, just to check my clone. No clone, okay. Awesome. It takes that long now? Okay, that's okay. Cool. And so what? Oh, I need to press this probably. And what to do? Activate gate. LQ OYM. Oh, just perfect. What the fuck is catch values? Let's take a look. Anyone in heavens? No one in heavens. Okay, let's take a look at it. Ster, Ishtar. Very possibly an Ishtar could be in here. Forsaken. I did bad. Let's do a little bit pro-overheat. Be an Ishtar. Yeah, an Ishtar in here. I haven't grouped my drones. That's bad. You know, this is not working. I won't be able to kill it in time before I lose my shoots. But like, that's okay. Where am I actually? That was a good roll, just a lone warp. Okay, let's see, LQ dash OM. LQ dash what? Fuck house. Guys, I suck at finding fucking targets. Where the fuck are you? I want to go to Athenor. Let's go here. Let's see. I could have killed Hulk. That's okay. let's go another system. I boosted some. I need more. Actually, I need to check what are the. Where is exploration? Where is ESS? Current system. Horizontal jumps. Falcon D-Star. Stores. Unlucky. Very unlucky. I would like to see how it feels from D-Star. Oh fuck my life. This one's very good. But still I can pre-overheat. I can pre-overheat that. What do we have? The Northers and Executor Navi. I doubt I'm gonna be able to warp out, but kinda that's a good plan. Whom to shoot? I'm able to kill Phobos and Ishtar probably. Oysters are usually pretty thin. Okay, let's start to align here. And I need to make this fella oh, he's fucking over tanked. Yo, that was a good fight. Just didn't expect it to end that fast. How is it? Well, that escalated quickly. Still, as you see, no, nothing really awful. I could have landed in ESS back there, but kinda that's okay. This kind of fun content. Do I want to make another task? Just like, well, it's just getting too late, and I was planning to complete in 1.5 hours. Now I'm streaming almost 2. So that's okay, but like you see, we had a plan. Orthrus was a good, not passive fit. I could have some, some chances, but like really, it's not how the fight is supposed to happen, and that's partly why I didn't really like to pass the gates in such a fit, because yeah, you have an overprop, but like when you have a fucking sweeples and all of it on you, like I doubt you have chances to do pretty much anything. Was good. Also, yeah, just to check who damaged me the most. That's not the guy. Yeah, this guy did good damage. Usual Hikati. This guy did the most, because like regardless of overprop, like the rapids applied too good. I took drugs, so kind of in my excuse that was a good move, because like I almost totally forgot. But yeah, that was the plan. I could have tried to make through the gates. Just I was unable what fits. So for example, if Hikari used to be double up, I had 0 chances, because like it's taking a lot of time to spool up your speed with overprop. So you really, that's why like the plan was to go into ESS. Just the first system had almost like 10 mil. Who the fuck goes for 10 mil? I'm not sure where I'm landed. It seems that they're capital, but I'm not really familiar with catch territories. I can't really remember when last time I used to be there, even with the expo stuff. But that's kind of everything went as expected. So and as I've promised you, it was like a very fast disgrace. Super fast content delivery. That's good. The thing to check out, and I'm gonna explain some Where is it? Open up. Okay. As you see, for example, if we're going to be doing the same ROMs and stuff, it's kind of easy to scale up because like two of those work pretty much identically. So you just get double alpha. That's all. Yeah, and hit was kind of good. Let's see the log and stuff. Where is the activities? Log and messages. Well, wasn't super fabulous, but first, oh, that was an MTU. MTU sucks, but this was kind of good. Land. So 1,338 Orthruses. This was an active tank, and I think he had an auxiliary shield. So as he runs out of charges, he would die. So I mean, if I was choking him somewhere in ESS, he would die. Of course, he won't go into ESS. Orthros is too expensive to go into ESS and try to do something with it. But other than that, it was kind of good. Good tactics. You saw the volleys. They, I think I took 1/3 or even 1/4. I mean, 1/4 or even 1/3 of his shields. Well, the cache might have been overheated my guns, but again, like the fight was too fast. I'm not the thing. So what went good? Generally, I found like I've landed in the right place. What went bad? I wasn't able to grab this Ishtar. That's okay. Next time I'm gonna grab one. I haven't checked the scan immediately because I didn't know like that there are moons that Hawks or workers are mining, blah blah. So I could have been able to land a couple of shots on Hulks. Actually, right now I'm not sure I'm even able to kill a Hulk. just because like they're tanky lately with the Orca support and the Orca ability to rep. You can't really rely on alpha versus them. I think they have something like 5,000 of shields, and with the resistance with links, I'm gonna be scratching them with 1,400, but I'm shooting once every 7 or 8 seconds, so plenty of time to spool up the shields. Again, that's okay-ish. We might try to do stuff like this. As you see, like content delivery is almost immediate, and we can go and fuck around. I'm not a very good hunter. We need those who are able to to check the sites, who can able to use D-scan good way, who are like who can land tackle. Morty can help me out next time, I'm pretty sure. But flying such fleets do not bound, like they're not like pinned to streams or something. That's the thing I want us to do. That's fun. It's not like sitting on a Titan for 40 minutes each day. It's just you jump in, you go, and you get your death or glory. kinda should be interesting. Okay guys, it's getting late. I have still stuff to do with my real life, and I'm gonna see you next time. Next time I'm probably gonna show you how this is kinda regular activity. Mordy saw this today. I mean, what do I mean by regular activity? How an individual, you don't need a corp, you don't need like generally an alliance leadership. You can do this daily just to be efficient. The same dead sites, the same flying in the Gila, for example, doing like that. The thing, heaven approximately gives you 50 mil, so 2 heavens and you can go and do this stuff. So the thing costs only 100 mil, slightly more could be optimized. You don't really need those gear stabilizers are expected. All this is just kind of meta things. This could be meta. All this is meta. this I would still prefer to be, you know, to be Tech 2, but in this to be Tech 2, everything else is just doable. So I'm not sure how far more is from this. This is a good practice. Also, it's better aligned with aligned doctrines. It's not like we won't be using this all the time. It's just a brief example. We might have, like, you know, we might have been planned to use autocannons, and actual what I'm planning to do as a corp, it's gonna require autocannons. It's gonna require different fits, maybe, I don't know, shield tank, maybe hull tank, maybe well, you know, maybe armor tank, but we're gonna see. For now, please keep training into hurricanes, keep training into, like, you know, the alliance doctrine. I'm gonna work on everything, like putting those fittings into the corp fittings, and we're gonna start doing this starting from next week. About Monday and Tuesday, I'm not sure. I have plenty of work. Wednesday, let's stick to Wednesday. I'm gonna plan some kind of such content for Wednesday, and then we're gonna go and do it. And to be honest, I want to do this once more. It was super fun. I mean, just like right now, like first the start is a stress, and then you have this itchy hands. You just want to go and repeat. You want to go and do better. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. Okay, guys. Thank you for your time. Thank you for bearing this stuffy speeches for 2 hours. I hope you had some, redemption, some relief in the very end. Because, I was punished for my behavior, and yeah, I'm gonna see you next time. Thanks, guys. Cheers. Bye.